One small mistake could ruin your entire Dahlia collection. Here's how to store Dahlia tubers stress-free. After you divide your Dahlia tubers, you need to make sure that the cuts you made are dry before they go into storage. If you store your Dahlia tubers with wet spots, you can promote mold and rot. As you can see when they're freshly cut, the skin here is clearly wet. You want the cuts to be starting to scab over and dry to the touch. So while you're dividing, set your tubers in a cool, dry location out of the direct sun. And these cuts should be dry to the touch in anywhere from a few hours all the way up to 48 hours, depending on the weather conditions. Also, before your tubers go into storage, inspect them for soft spots or rot. If you place them into storage with any rot or soft spots, it's only going to get worse. When it comes to storing Dahlia tubers, there's a few reliable, well-tested options. The first and easiest method you can do using something right in your kitchen. Get yourself some cling wrap or plastic wrap. Pull out about a 20-inch section, cut it off. Take your first tuber, place it at the end of the saran wrap. Now you want to tightly roll that tuber into the plastic wrap. Once you get fully around it once, grab another tuber and stagger it the opposite direction and do the same. Fold it over another time. And once again, grab another tuber, place it in the opposite direction, fold it over one time. And then once you have about 6 inches left of saran wrap, you're going to want to fold these up like a burrito. So take this end, fold it over like that. Take this end, fold it over like that. And now finish wrapping these nice and tight. This is a great method if you only have a few tubers to store, and it's actually super reliable. You're creating sort of a mini environment in here that has high humidity and prevents these from drying out. I've actually seen tubers not shrink after 2 years of storage in saran wrap. This second method for storing Dahlia tubers is kind of like creating lasagna with a storage medium and your tubers. Here are the 3 most common choices for storage mediums. Here we have peat moss, and then we have pine wood shavings, and then we have medium or fine vermiculite. It really just comes down to experimenting with your climate, which one works best. But in general, people find that wood shavings are good if you have a really humid storage environment. And then the peat moss and vermiculite are really good if you have to control the humidity of your storage medium. We'll show you how to do that later. So for this lasagna method, you need to start with a base layer of your storage medium. So I'm just gonna fill the bottom of my container with about a 1/2 inch of vermiculite here. Now you're going to place your tubers into your container, making sure that none of them touch. If they touch, it can lead to rot. So just organize these however they fit best. Just as long as they don't touch, you can put them however you want. So as you can see, I have them arranged with plenty of space between them, and now it's time to add another layer of vermiculite. So add another layer of vermiculite until the tubers are completely covered. Once they're completely covered, we're going to repeat this process. So take another row of tubers and arrange them so that nothing is touching. And now I'm going to add one last layer of vermiculite to cover everything. Then we're just going to place our cover on and label these with the number of tubers, the variety, and the date you pack them. Temperature, humidity, and good air circulation are the 3 most important things when storing your Dahlia tubers. In a perfect world, you would want your tubers to be anywhere from 40 to 50 degrees with 80 to 90% humidity. Obviously, not everyone can achieve these perfect conditions, but people often use their basement or garages for storage. Just keep in mind that if they freeze, they'll be destroyed, and if they're too warm, they're gonna sprout in storage. Also be aware that concrete sucks moisture out of things. So if you're putting your tubers near bare concrete, it's probably going to be a really dry location and it's going to suck the moisture out of the tuber. Every couple of weeks, you should check on your tubers to make sure they're still safe in storage. If they seem too wet and are showing condensation in the containers, you may want to take the lid off for a little while so they can dry out a bit. If the tubers are too dry and are showing signs of shriveling, you can spray the storage medium with a little bit of water to increase the humidity.